Day.
Atlantis Spaceship is the last map between two great players. Those players, they are really awesome. Very friendly, very nice, very talkative as well. Two huge trolls. Good friends, I suppose, and they are facing each other in the second round of the GSL today. To the bottom left, we have the Protoss player starting for the Evil Geniuses. It is
JYP.
Edging out a win on Antigua Shipyard. There we have him. He's up against a teammate. He is up against the Terran player. Starting to the top right of the map in the blue. Starts the sweet. Winning on Ohana, losing on Antigua Shipyard. Now in the third game. This is the one and only
ThorZaIN.
Sella calls him Jane. He does!
Who is ThorZane's Tarzan then? You know, Tarzan actually is similar in spelling, I suppose, to ThorZain.
It's a hybrid.
Wow. He is a cross. Whoa.
Okay, guys, we spilled the bean. ThorZain is a cross-dresser. We're sorry. It was a secret, but, well.
I don't know, man. It's too perfect. It's just. Now every time I hear a Korean trying to pronounce ThorZain, man, all I'm gonna hear is Jane, and then think of Tarzan and Jane combined. Their powers combined, man, they make ThorZain the supporting actor that never could have been, but should have been for Harry Potter, became a pro gamer instead.
ThorZain is gonna love this later.
I'm sure he'll enjoy watching this VOD.
Yeah, this is... I have to tell him later. He made fun of me so many times when I was a streamer, and now I get my revenge. I'm like, yeah, buddy, this time the joke's on you. No. Seriously, these guys are really great. They are two... I love them both, and this is a third game. I love that we see a third map here. I'm really sad that one of them has to drop down, but only one can advance today, and we'll find out if it's our Protoss or our Terran participant in this last match of the day, this last best of 3.
Yeah, by the way, another hidden pylon for JYP. What will it mean? That's a very
3 barracks for ThorZaIN, following up this command center.
Yeah, and he's actually going to go up to 4. He's playing this a bit bomber style, putting on a lot of heavy marine pressure. If he goes up to the 5th, then this is going to be something JYP is going to struggle to hold off the pressure from. Even 4 is scary, but 5, 5 is right out, man. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. He's going to get the SCV. Ah! He knows the marine count quite well now. He knows there are definitely more than 2 barracks up at the top of that ramp. Well, actually, I mean more than 2 barracks in total. You can't know there are more than 2 because those barracks aren't finished yet.
Finally, the barracks is done. This Stalker was getting a pain.
Was a Stalker getting a pain or being a pain, man? That is the question.
Actually, both of it is true.
Yeah, he lost a few hit points on his leg. You know, Stalkers are really cool, but they do, you know, I believe it was Tasteless who first pointed this out, is they have pony trot legs. They really do, man. Once that was told to me, I don't know who said it to me first, but once I discovered this, man. No, man, they are pony trot legs. Look at that.
It's kind of true.
I mean, like, I felt like the Dragoon had a bit of majesty to his movement. Like, he moved a little bit weirdly, like he went back and forth, but it's just the fact that, listen, man, have you ever tried to do one of those 3-legged races? That's like what a Dragoon's doing, except with 4 legs and 2 people. That's...
You take a lot of beauty away from it now, but whoa! ThorZaIN is taking away one of the Stalkers, is running in there, and JYP not paying attention to the minimap for a split second, and suddenly ThorZaIN takes out the Stalker.
To think that this 3 gateway pressure is going to be effective against this many Marines with a bunker already in place, I think may be a bit of an overestimation by JYP.
JYP is way behind in army supply at this point.
Yeah, he is. ThorZaIN was the one who was about to pressure him, and now he's on the attack.
Yeah, he's moving forward here and trying to do make something work. But he's actually ahead in harvesters. It's not too surprising given the fact that we of course have the orbital, which has to be upgraded, and during this time the Terran player cannot produce any SCVs. But a really huge lead here for JYP, 38 now to 30 harvesters. And here comes the Forge. JYP just mixing things up a little bit.
Oh, he's not watching his army! Oh. 2 units going down already. Zealot taking another shot to the back.
Oh, and he's trying to chase down another sentry. He might as well get it.
He will.
Yes, the sentry is going to die.
He needs a force field. Oh. He needs a... Well.
Yes, the sentry is gone.
Gone indeed, JYP.
And this is a lot of army supply, 28 against 20. He's moving in here. Stim has just been started. That's a lot of marine pressure. Nice micro here by JYP though.
I will tell you what, man, if he can fight, those marines have a ton more DPS, but great micro by JYP. And with the next round of Warpins, ThorZaine may have regretted this choice of falling this far.
Look at this stutter step. Here come the force fields, and this is looking good for JYP. He's taking a lot of units apart, but now he's losing the first few stalkers. Another force field closes the gap. And JYP lost a lot. Sorry, ThorZaine lost a lot here.
Yeah, he certainly
Both
did.
actually did.
And ThorZaine knows he cannot retreat with that many stalkers, so he tries to do what damage he can. Loses everything though. And like I said, if with the next round of Warpins, he was going to regret that choice. I think once you go past the Watchtower, there's no going back because he will have the Warpins. You either do the damage or you don't, and you will lose every marine because stalkers will always outrange and outspeed you. So there is no retreat.
47 harvesters against 43, double mule. ThorZaine is going for the upgrades again, Stim this time, and +1/+1 been started. And now, of course, for our Protoss player, not only the Robotics Bay, but he's falling back onto additional 4 gates actually. This puts him up onto a 7 gateway count.
This is fairly unique because even though this is similar to what we saw actually right now almost all Protoss are doing this Robotics Support Bay first into a lot of gateways, putting pressure on 2 base, trying to really cripple the Terran before taking a 3rd. But the difference here is that JYP killed a lot of ThorZane's Marines early on, so ThorZaine is a little bit skimpy on units right now. And if the timing is hit perfectly, this is going to be really, really tough for ThorZaine to hold. The problem for JYP is that with the timing that he's kind of set up right now, he will probably face ThorZaine at 1/1 upgrades. With Chrono Boost, he may be able to catch that up. That's something that my brain cannot wrap its head around fully just yet, but the upgrades may or may not come into play, but the army size is going to be intense. JYP is going to have a big push ready, and he needs every Viking he can get to hold this.
On the other hand, the sheer amount of minerals and gas that ThorZaine gets now per minute is definitely a lot better than JYP's. Well, maybe not gas, because they both have 4 gas.
Oh my god.
But in minerals. And if he has the production, he will be able, given time, he will be able to just outrank the army of his opponent. He's ahead in harvesters, he has the mules as well, and he will have the upgrades. So this is very, very tricky. Extended Thermal Lance now coming up for JYP, of course, and here come the Medivacs. The timing for the armory is maybe slightly off, but it's good enough to start him with a +2/+2. And he's moving in with those 2 Medivacs. He's trying to do some damage, but he has been spotted. There is a pylon.
The Zealots are in position. He can't drop here. No, he won't. Well, he is actually making the decision to drop into those Zealots. He did not care for those units very much, but I think what ThorZaine knows here is that anything he can do buys him time.
It was actually very, very beautiful.
He's buying time for himself, and he knows it. I love this. Uh-oh, he's going to want to unload against these stalkers, that's for sure. It's always the irony of units in Medivacs or Warp Prisms being chased by units on the ground that would die to the units inside of the Warp Prism.
We have the pylons to the right side of the map, by the way, and here comes the +1 armor upgrade already, followed by the attack upgrade, and Ghost this time is a lot faster. He's actually not going for any Vikings, is he? He's going straight for the Ghost tech.
And this is going to be potentially problematic for him as the Colossi are moving out.
He has Colossi, but he did not scan them, did he?
No, and there are 2 Medivacs full of units out of position here. That's going to be double medevacs full of units that ThorZaine does not have to defend. Right now, the army supply alone is 94 to 56.
This spells
I
pain.
think he's dead.
This spells pain and a lot of damage. Look at that DPS. Here comes JYP moving in, using those force fields. ThorZaine trying to drop in the main base, but his own natural, that's the biggest problem. A lot of units for ThorZaine stimming and trying to make this happen. He's warping into the main base. The Protoss player that is defending against this double drop, and the double drop dies, and so does ThorZane's natural. He's losing everything here. The defensive units are gone, and there's a GG.
JYP.
GG, well played.
JYP, our Korean Protoss representative for EG, will advance today. ThorZaine being caught a little bit off guard with what information he had. No way to stop those Colossi, and also really he had 2 units full of, or 2 medevacs full of units out of position. And showing the teammate love here.
That's
they
a
both
beautiful
knew
picture.
Yeah, it is. And that massage that Sella just briefly gave is something that ThorZaine is thinking about right now, wishing that it never ended.
Sella's massages are great.
They
but
are
well,
great.
ThorZaine, it looked promising. He won map number 1. But then it is JYP who turns things around, wins the second and the third map. And well played.
Well played indeed, as ThorZaine said when he GG'd.
I think actually the map that was really in that ThorZaine could have won was Antigua. On Antigua, he looked so strong for a while, and then it was so close. It was this razor-thin edge that JYP was able to edge out, and ThorZaine, given time, with a few more production buildings, he would have actually been able to overwhelm his opponent. But he was lacking production, he had a lot of minerals floating, a lot of gas, and he could not really get rid of it.
You're right, man. It was such a razor-thin line. I mean, the game was at its tipping point, and it just couldn't, for ThorZaine, it couldn't quite cross that boundary. JYP looking good in this series. I would say ThorZaine, though, you know, as a foreigner here, playing against one of the best Koreans out there, one of the best Korean Protosses. That's an impressive play that we saw. Now, JYP will go on to face Hack in his next round, and that's not going to be an easy opponent for him.
Not at all. Hack is really good in the matchup against Protoss. We pointed out in the past, but one of the Protoss players that had to experience it first person was Hack.
Yeah, well, that was, I mean, today's games were pretty intense. We had,
yeah.
We're going to put up the results because...
Exactly. We have a quick look at today's games, at today's results, not only our morning group, but also the afternoon group. Here we go. This was the first games that we had. For GG, withdrawing due to personal reasons, Hard succeeding over Yu-Gi-Oh! Happy was not able to best Hack. Lost against the StarTale Terran, and in our Zerg versus Zerg, Jan edged out a win over Sniper. Very well played, a lot of 2-0s though.
Yeah, there certainly were, and on the other side of things, we had 2-1s all around.
Yeah, a great game between Jakji and Creator, Bomber and Gumiho, with Gumiho coming out ahead of his opponent.
And, you know, in Vampire versus Suo Shin, those games can only be described by watching the VODs. I don't even want to try to wrap my head around that anymore. Tell your friends to watch it if they didn't check it out. It was a pretty exciting series, that much is for sure.
Yes.
And last but not least, JYP coming out 2-1 over his teammate ThorZaine. And a pretty nail-biting series. It was close. The final game was a little bit anticlimactic, I will say, but the games, all 3 of them were interesting and exciting, and you could see some stylistic play, especially out of JYP, with how he likes to use his Colossi, really shining through there.
Yeah, it was really well done. And I'm not quite sure, but I guess we'll be, yes, tomorrow's matches. There they are. This is the early group. Alive does not have to face Ganji. Apparently Ganji has problems with his hands, is getting treatment.
Yeah, he's got to get his wrist treated, so he's going to withdraw for now. Since this is round 2, he does not fall out of Code A, but it will lose and have to participate in the up and down matches if he's well by then.
Killer imparting our PvP will start the day off, followed by Life against Lenok. 2 great Zerg players. And of course, our Terran versus Terran after this, Holt has to face Maru.
And Lifeman versus Lenok, that should be great to see.
Yes.
Life getting a seed based on his excellent Team League performance. This guy's got a lot to prove, but I think he certainly may. And the next, of course, the afternoon session for tomorrow will be Hero against MMA, Oz versus Yoda, Shine versus Ace, and last but not least, Puzzle against Curious. What a crazy lineup of matches. All of tomorrow's matches are going to be awesome.
Yeah, they are going to be epic. And Shine against Ace, this is one of the games that I was really looking forward to. But if you just have a quick look at what exactly is going on tomorrow, this is just crazy. Hero MMA, it's hard to pick a favorite here.
That's a good point, man. MMA has not been looking as strong recently, but this is again another moment for him to prove himself. Yeah. And it's unfortunate for him that he has to play against such a great player. First round, Hero has been consistently hitting that top notch of Code S and playing really well outside of Korea as well. So this guy's going to be a tough opponent to face. Like really, really tough for MMA. It's going to be a really big testing day for him tomorrow. Yeah,
everything's going to happen tomorrow, and of course the day after we have the GSL Code S. The semifinals, and that's going to be epic.
Yeah, and don't forget the finals are going to be in Busan, not this weekend, but the next weekend. And if you can come down and join us, we would love to have you. And if you don't, man, you have got to be watching because it is going to be sick.
It's definitely going to be epic. On Friday we have Code S, and the day after GSTL finals are going to happen. And this week, of course, also GSTL live once again on Friday and on Saturday. A lot of StarCraft 2 this week, guys. I hope that you will be joining in. Today we had quite a couple of good matches.
Yeah.
And well, I hope that you have a great morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.